All right. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about what James Harden said. Do you have the exact quote, or should
I do have
paraphrase?
the exact quote. You could start talking about it though. I'll get the quote out when I.
So basically, he
That's
said
his
that. I didn't even start speaking about it. I might not even support what he said. So he basically he just said that he's changed the game of basketball, and the only thing missing from his resume is a championship. So do you guys think that James Harden changed the game of basketball?
Yeah, he changed how people
For the
call.
worst.
He changed the foul
Except
calling
for the
rule.
worst?
For the worst, yeah.
But I think you should think for the
He
better.
changed it for the worst. No, he changed it, and then they literally had to make a rule so he could stop.
I wouldn't say it's for
so
the
it made
worst.
it made it
It's
better.
just
It made the league better.
I guess so, since they
change it
took
for
away the
better,
rule.
not for the worst.
But it's like
Bro,
he
all
was,
that shit
he was
is
ruining
stupid,
the
though.
shit. Like he was ruining.
Yeah, but
the
if
league with
you
the fouls.
actually I'll give my.
They literally
take
had to
after you
make a
guys
rule
go.
that you can't get
If
those
you
fouls
actually
no
like
more.
dissect what he did, then you think it's like really.
He had a
good.
God-tier offensive
I
season.
understand it's a skill, but it's still a cheap skill.
Not a cheap skill because it's
I
hard
don't
to
agree.
learn.
I don't agree with that,
I
Omari,
agree,
bro.
it's a cheap skill.
If that's
If it's so cheap, everybody can do it.
yeah, if that's he
Yeah,
just
they banned everyone from more people was
No,
doing
they
it.
can't do it like he could.
bro,
Like,
Kevin
not like he
Durant,
could,
is
he
Kevin
was
Durant
nice.
a bitch because he did the rip through and they had to make a foul? He's a bitch for that, huh?
Chris
no,
Paul
but
too.
they're taking advantage of the rules. That's fine. That's
Chris
cool.
Paul does it. He does
That-
the rip through
yeah,
every
he does
game.
it too,
You guys-
but niggas
can I
complain,
say-
right?
So
Can
he's
I
the
say-
hoe for doing that?
Yes.
No. Hassan.
But no one that is a hoe, but it's like if you're taking advantage of rules like that are obviously like okay, cool.
That's the game.
Yeah,
That's how he gets paid.
Yeah, you're taking advantage of the rules, but then they changed it
So
because
it's
they recognized that the shit was cheap and it was ruining shit. Like
It's not cheap though. He's smart for doing it.
So they just changed. it
Isn't
for no
Chris
reason.
Paul one of the
They
probably
changed
the
it just
smartest?
'cause there wasn't
Isn't Chris
no
Paul?
issue with it.
No, there's an issue with it, but he's
That's
smart for doing
exactly-
it.
Yeah, that's
So why call it cheap?
I agree because it's cheap. That's why they changed it.
It's not cheap.
Just
It's
'cause
not
like,
cheap.
It's a
just
strategy.
because they're
It's a
smart.
strategy.
It's smart to do it.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not cheap. Using cheese in these fucking video games.
But okay.
Okay, is it not cheap to be cheesing niggas in 2K and shit like that,
Not the
right?
same
It's-
thing,
it's-
bro.
Yes,
no,
it
no.
is. It's allowed. It's allowed.
Is it easy to cheese?
You have to learn how to do it. And it's a skill, and that's cool.
How many can
but
do
you're
it?
still gonna hate on these niggas for doing it.
No, I'm not because it's hard to do.
Oh, you're,
That's it.
when you're playing against them.
Okay, but in
when
2K,
you're playing against
you
them, you're gonna be
can't
like,
even use
these
2K
bitches-
because every best player cheeses. Like,
Okay, but
they use
that's-
the skill to their advantage
but,
to win the game.
Okay,
and
when
get paid doing it.
okay, let me tell you like this. When we're getting cheesed online, what do we want to happen? We want them to be able to fix this fucking cheese.
Okay, then another cheese will come out.
Okay, and then they're
That's
gonna
the
fix
NBA.
that. But
They-
still, like
That's not
the point in the shit and why it's cheap and why I say it's cheese is because just because they're taking advantage of it. I'm not saying that he's not smart for doing it, and I'm not saying that he couldn't. But they changed it for a reason because it was cheap.
You're talking down on it. Like
Because
it's easy to do.
I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it's
why
still
talk
it's
down
still
on what
cheap.
he's-
You're taking advantage of the rules, and that's why they changed it because they're like this dude is taking advantage of these rules that we
You make
had
it
in
sound like
place.
it's easy
we
when
had
it's
to-
like super difficult
I
to
said,
do. It's
like I
super
said,
difficult.
It's very.
How many-
Probably is.
how many
He
players-
became the best. He became the best at it. And props to him for doing that. He was averaging 36 off of like 38 fucking.
But what
It's
happened
like
after
it's only
that?
11 free
Omari,
throws.
what happened
Only
when
I
they changed the
understand.
rule?
No, I'm just
Only
playing.
11 free throws.
What happened after
And
they
he
changed the
struggled-
rule?
he struggled
He
hard as
struggled
fuck.
immensely.
Okay, he
Struggled
didn't
hard as
struggle
fuck
because of the
because he
rule
was
change.
relying on that shit.
No, he did. He did not struggle.
He got
did
hurt.
struggle.
He got
Yes, he
hurt.
did struggle. He
But
did
the rule
struggle
change
for
changed
sure.
how he
What year
played.
did he struggle? He
When
got hurt
first-
when he
on
went to the.
Okay, but when he went to the Nets, and as soon as they changed that rule, the nigga was wondering why he
No,
wasn't.
when he
getting
went to
those
the
same
Nets
calls.
before he got hurt, what was he averaging? Did you see what he did in the playoffs before he got hurt
He
again?
was
Yeah,
in
but that
MVP
was also with
conversation
Kyrie
when he
Irving.
first got to the Nets. Yeah.
Man, look,
But I'm
did he
with
not-
that was
you,
for a
bro.
little
I
bit.
don't know. They're disagreeing with it, but it's like it's not cheap because everybody does it. Like it's not like
Not
James
everybody
Harden's the
does
only person that does it, bro.
No, but
He's
I'm
just doing it
saying,
at an elite
no,
level that others couldn't do it at.
Yeah,
Look, like I said,
he started the
did it
trend.
The best.
Okay,
He is just the poster child for
Okay,
right
so
now.
if every-
The rest of the niggas who was doing it, it's cheap too. They was all
Okay, well,
trying
let's-
their
let's-
best
don't
to
have
take
to
advantage of the
cheap.
rules.
Listen to me.
They was all doing their best
Listen
to take
to me.
advantage
So
of the
if every
rules. That's
player
fine,
could-
but they changed it for
So
a
if
reason.
every player could do what James Harden could do, would they do it?
If they could, he became the best at it.
It's a
That's
yes or no
cool.
question.
Obviously, they
All right.
was all trying
So
to.
every MVP player is going to be cheap if they can do what he could do.
If they get like the same
Yeah,
way on
I'm
2K,
done- I'm
most
done talking
niggas
about
is
that,
gonna be
bro.
trying to cheese if they could figure out how to do it.
Nah, I'm done
After-
with that. What do you think, Gabe?
No, I'm just going to say it like this. Once they implemented that rule, yes, Harden averaged 36, 34, 35, right?
Huh?
When they implemented the rule, Harden began to average close to 25
So
points.
tell me the year.
Less free throws. The 2020 year, 2020, 2021.
Okay, so
His
that's when he
last-
started
his
on
last-
Houston, right?
Oh,
When he
let him
wanted.
finish, let him
He was
No,
on
no,
Houston.
I'm gonna dissect this.
Okay, I don't
So
understand.
that's when he started on Houston, right? And
He
he
was on
wanted to
Houston.
get out. He
Yeah.
was fat. They were calling him fat. He was saying, "Oh, this team's not gonna work with John
Okay,
Wall and DeMarcus
okay.
Cousins." All right, he gets traded.
Okay.
What happens after that?
He gets traded to Nets, and then on the Nets, he was doing the same thing.
And he got hurt. He hurt his hamstring.
Okay, but the games he played up until he had the same thing.
And he was
still
in the
averaging
NBA
25.
MVP conversation before he got hurt.
Okay, Hassan, I'm
I
not
don't know
saying
if I
that he
can
wasn't.
find it.
I'm just saying his points per game
Okay, but
dipped.
there's
His
reasons.
free throws attempted dipped. A
Okay,
lot of
that's
other
fair,
people,
that's fair.
a lot of other people in the league were struggling too when they changed the league. Lillard, Chris Paul, they were all struggling
Yeah, I remember
when the
that.
league changed the rule. I'm
That's-
saying
that's a fair point.
I'm saying Harden went from his god tier offensive stats, but when Harden changed the way that reffing was called during that like season right after.
We can talk about that, but
A lot of people struggled. So he did change the game. He made a lot of people struggle, and a lot of people had to find out different ways to score again. Because remember that season when everybody started, everybody like kind of was like mid. Lillard wasn't scoring threes.
It was
a
the
lot of shit
21
was being
season.
weird. No one
Yeah,
was getting
I understand
fouls.
that. I understand that.
So he did change the game
So,
in a
but
way.
I'm talking
saying.
about the reason why his stats were lower was because he got hurt.
Okay,
He switched teams.
He got
Okay.
older.
He got
True,
older.
you're not wrong. You're just
And before he got hurt, he was in the MVP conversation, and he was averaging like 11 assists per game.
Say he got older, like it was
Yeah.
not the next. Like
he was
it the
averaging
next
25 and 11 on the.
You know how
before he got
much?
injured on the
You know
Knicks,
much
which is true.
that like doing that taxes. You want to know how bad Luka's
I
gonna be
agree.
when he's that age too?
I
He's not
agree
gonna
with
be bad.
you.
But
I'm
he's gonna
saying
drop
yes, it
in
is
stats
difficult.
also.
He instead of scoring more, he started getting more assists. He went from 7 to 11.
Okay, and who was he
Because
playing with?
that's what I'm not disagreeing. I'm
Bro,
saying
his
he
role
did change.
changed. His role changed.
Yeah, he's
dramatically.
using it as like a disadvantage towards him.
But
I'm
it's
not
not. But it's
using it
not.
as- I'm
it
just
wasn't
saying what
the numbers,
happened.
like,
I'm
he was
agreeing.
shooting
I'm
bad.
saying
Yeah, because
yes.
it's
points-
two different situations. You think he's gonna average 34 with playing with KD and
No,
Kyrie?
I never said.
Or
I said I
Joel.
agree.
Yeah,
I'm saying Omari's right in saying they changed the rule because of Harden because he was doing like
yeah, but you're saying you're blaming the rule change as to
Okay,
why
but
his
it's not
stats
a
are going
role-
lower.
But it's not a role
a
thing.
lot
not
of
true.
people's stats did. though.
Hassan,
No, but I'm
Hassan,
talking about this
yeah.
specifically. That's not true. There's
Like-
a lot of things that happened.
Like
you can't just straight up blame the role though. You think if they could see a nigga could average 30 points, they wouldn't want him to do.
So you're
no,
gonna-
because
so
you
can
can't
average
win
30
with him
points-
averaging
Wait,
30
he was
points.
averaging
So you can
30
average 30 points with KD and Kyrie on the same team?
No, but I'm saying
That's
like
too much
Exactly. That's the
firepower.
point
Alright,
we're
so
trying to
regardless-
make.
regardless, it's not just a rule. It wasn't the only the role change. Like he started shooting badly, he started playing badly. It wasn't just he started
It's not
averaging less
true.
points. It's
No,
not
hold
like
on, hold
it's
on,
not like
hold
he had
You got
a
it.
super efficient 28.
The
or
thing is though,
26.
like okay, yeah, the rule change affected him, but it affected everyone equally. It's not like it
Yes.
affected him more than other players.
I'm not
Beginning
saying
of the
that's
season-
true.
At the
It
beginning of the
affected
season,
What
everybody.
I'm saying about your guys'
This
point
is
about
about-
his numbers going down because of the free throw change, it's just not true at all.
I mean, the
because
thing
his
is,
whole situation
like, they
changed.
might have went down because of that, but it wasn't the main reason his numbers went down.
That's
Like,
facts.
it's just a small portion of
His
it.
field goal
Like, there's a lot
percentage
of
stayed the
different
same.
You can make
The
the point for
argument
his free
itself
throws
was
going
that he
down.
changed
That's
the game.
fair. His free throws going down.
His field goal percentage stayed the same.
The argument
He's
itself
always
that
been a
said that,
bad
yes, he
shooter.
changed
Like,
the
yeah,
game
an
because
efficient
he got
shooter.
shows,
I mean.
yeah,
He's also
always
started.
usage with
He also
free
started
throws.
shooting a lot less threes during that rule change. It's weird. He
You have
shot
to pass the
13
ball
It's
more.
not
He
about
shot-
the rule change. It's about the players he's
Well,
playing with.
Well, but it happened though. I'm
Man.
saying
Regardless,
it's
regardless,
I
indirectly.
can't say that.
But
Like,
you're
the season-
attributing. There's no correlation.
My original
there.
point was
There's no
about
correlation.
numbers.
differently because the rule change.
No,
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 because
no,
roll.
no. It has nothing to do with
Because
threes,
roll.
though. You could talk about free throws and how many fouls he draws per
Free
game.
throws dropped. 3-point attempted
How many
dropped.
fouls? Like, if
okay,
you want to
his-
pull up
his
how many
shots will
fouls he
drop
drew.
too. His shots will also drop, and because of how much he's shooting, he's
But that's-
not shooting as
that's
much.
not the
because
You're
of
saying
his
about
correlation
a
of
rule
the-
change,
of the
but
fouls.
why did he
It's not
change the
because
rule?
of the fouls.
Because he's not scoring as much because of the rule change.
What? He switched teams.
No, in the Houston beginning,
Bro,
he was averaging
when you're on a
25.
team with
Yeah,
Kevin
okay.
Durant, there's no shot you're going to
Hold
be
on,
the best
talk about
player.
He's talking about
I'm
Houston.
talking
So
about
what happened in Houston? The last
The
series in
rule
Houston.
didn't. By
The
the way,
last
year,
the
you
rule
like
didn't-
fucking
the rule didn't-
games.
the rule didn't change
Let
till
me hold
21.
up. Let's see
I'm
what he
letting you guys
says.
know.
What happened in
last,
Houston?
the last season
You
he
look
was
this
on
up.
Houston, like the
Huh?
last season,
Yes.
he played 44. No, hold on. Houston. This is saying different. Why is it splitting up? He averaged 25 before he went to Nets. He averaged 25 and 11. His field goal and
But 8 games.
Pretty good for him
That's
not
in Houston, right?
fucking trying
Yeah,
at all.
20, then what's this?
Yeah, but
Not
he's not
trying.
even saying
What's
that
that?
he wasn't trying.
2020,
They
2020.
just say nigga not trying.
Yeah, Houston
Oh,
shooting
oh.
guard 8 games.
This is 20. Yeah. So yeah, he averaged 25, 11, 25, 10.
And why?
Oh no, his 3
You know how I
points
noticed
down.
Fu wasn't trying? I remember they played the Lakers that season. LeBron started doing those turnaround threes against them.
Yeah, and he
Like, bro,
looked
he didn't
away.
give a fuck. He just like,
Dude, he was
get
in
me out
press
of here.
conferences saying like, "Oh, this team's not gonna work." Like, what?
Yeah.
You want it out?
He's like, we don't have enough to win a
We're
championship,
just
bro.
looking at stats and dictating those stats as to why he was playing worse. That's
Because-
just terrible.
because
You
the
can't
rule
base
changed.
basketball purely
I
off
wasn't even
stats.
looking at
I'm
the stats.
not.
I was watching nigga play.
I'm
Like
not
I
basing
think
it just off
he
that.
would have dropped off in his stats regardless of the rule change. Personally, I don't think it, like I
It'd
think
still
other
be-
factors.
Okay, but I
But
still
the
think
rule
he'd
change
average
happened
if
and
he was
he
playing in
started scoring
Houston
less.
that year and they had the team that they had the previous year. He still averaged 30. Like,
Probably.
Yeah.
My
If he
original
tried-
point,
if he
my
carried,
original
yeah.
point was
Yeah.
regardless, that's how he changed the game.
What?
My original point
I
was
said
let's
that's.
go
I'm
back to
telling you,
that.
that's
Let's
how
go
he
back
changed
to
the
that.
game too.
Let's
Right.
go to the second
Yeah.
part of that. So
Oh.
you think the
only
only thing
thing
he's
he-
missing is a championship?
What do you think, Gabe?
He needs one.
No, but is that the only thing that he's missing from his resume?
Well, he's never gonna. Well, where do you rank James Harden top shooting guards of all time?
I'm not about
That's-
to get into this.
Yeah, but-
Probably
That's
top
pretty
four.
easy.
He's top
Okay,
4 easily.
technically,
He's
Yeah,
better
I'm just
than
saying
him.
top
Have
4
every
easy.
accolade
So whatever
besides
he
that in
does,
the
it's not gonna
finals
change to
MVP.
go to 2. So
I don't know.
That's not the point,
without
though.
his-
That's not the point. Is the
I mean, he
only
has-
thing
he has
missing
most
from his resume
accolades.
a championship?
He needs one. I think he needs one. I think he's a top 4, top 3
To be
shooting guard.
what,
So
of
he
all
has
time.
everything else?
But to be what?
Dude,
Like what? Is,
he had
no,
one of
no,
the
just
best
have
off-
a-
yeah, yeah.
he's already
A
a Hall
full
of Famer.
career. Just
Let me
have
say
a full
that-
career
let
of
me-
every
let
accolade
Yeah,
ever.
like he'd be
Like
extremely.
Let me say
always
this.
say, I always say,
championship.
Once he gets his championship with a good playoff success that he needs to have, yes, I think that's it. But other than that, regular season god, like what else are we gonna
Yeah,
say?
so he's just
Carrying
missing a
teams to like
championship from his resume,
playoffs,
basically.
like huh?
Just missing a championship.
Oh,
from his
definitely, he
resume,
needs one. He
yeah.
needs one. But even if it doesn't change, I still think he's a top 3, top 4 shooting guard of all time.
Like him winning a championship is different as people looking at him like a Carmelo type player versus like I don't know who's a dude that won
Well, he won
like
an MVP.
Dirk type
so.
player. Maybe he's not as
Dirk,
low,
yeah. I
but
mean,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
What do you-
Generally,
what do you think, Omari? You think-
Steve Nash is a better comparison. He won 2 MVPs, no championship.
Yeah, but-
That's why you can't put him in
That's a
like
good
the
one.
top whatever point guards. Can't put him
Well, I
over
mean, he
guys
just
like,
wasn't as good as the other point
I
guards.
feel like
so.
Well, Barkley,
I still
Barkley,
feel
if
like
he won
Chip
Chip
would
Malone,
have
those
raised
guys.
him for
Yeah,
sure.
that's fact.
Barkley,
Chips,
Malone.
Chips is still too heavily weighted when it comes to like individual players, but
It matters though, because that's the ultimate
yeah,
prize.
yeah, I know it's the goal,
play
but it's
for
it
like-
matters about from the best. Like I get what you mean about like those.
Harden wasn't finna win a chip on none of those teams except the Chris Paul one.
He was
Yeah.
gonna beat the Warriors up 3-2 until Chris
Nah,
Paul got
that's-
injured.
They
and
had
was
okay.
really
chances,
bad.
bro. They had
That's what
hella
I'm saying,
chances.
He
except,
did.
except for the Chris Paul. That was
Only
his
2
last.
years,
That was the only
yeah.
time he ever had a chance. You know?
And then
Yeah.
if they somehow beat Giannis,
They're
like,
playing
yeah,
the
teams weren't that
Warriors
good.
too,
Yeah,
you know,
and they were
so-
playing the Warriors.
what if KD's
Like-
foot was behind the line and they made a pass and Harden
Yeah.
was Harden?
That was
He was
good. They should've
playing
won that
injured
year,
that
too.
that postseason, right? He
Yeah.
played injured.
He got hurt and then he was playing on one leg.
Correct,
All right.
right?
Dropped 20 in that league.
Let's wrap it up with the Harden shit. Let's get into the list.
Let me say
'cause-
my point.
Go
For
ahead.
Harden.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think
Finish
the
it
only
off.
thing that he's missing is a championship. I think he's accomplished everything else in his career. He gets a championship. I think they might have a shot this year if everything goes their way and him and Embiid play at a high level. And if he gets a championship, then he can retire if he wants.
I mean,
He retired.
He's not going
If he
to.
wants
Yeah.
to. I'm saying like,
I feel you.
all right.